Hey guys, welcome back. It's Joe here, and you might notice something a little while we're with What is Civilization started over episode 10, and you might notice something a little different with this map. That's because I've been working on provinces and cities. So you can see I've been working on provinces mostly in this area, as well as cities. I've added cities to every area. I added provinces, except for America and Norway. We'll get in there in a second. I also did the Sinai Peninsula, Norway, like mentioned before, and some of the American colonial borders. See, there's a lot more straight lines here than if we go over here into America. You might also notice some shapes. Well, you can only notice two shapes. Well, three. There's this circle here, this square here, which is divided in two, and this diamond, which is divided in multiple places. But those are just because I wanted them. But we'll turn those layers off for now. So the first event that is happening is Arnold. Arnold Zardavsky, who is the dictator of this country, is assassinated by people wearing the royal crest of this country. This country claims that they had nothing to do with them, but they do not believe that, and so we're going to turn the lasers on right away as war is breaking out between these two nations. So immediately, um, green troops will enter into the areas of this. Also, I forgot to mention, but you can probably knew from Ada's Pro series if you watched his, which if you haven't, you should go do that because he created the original, not me. So yeah, but these provinces, they're based on population density. As you can see, this area where the main war between the two is going to be fought is very populated. Not as populated as, say, Azerbaijan or up here around the Russian city up there, but it is more populated than other regions, and it is right on the front lines of this war, and you can see a lot of major cities. But anyway, um, green. Wait, sec. Sorry, I didn't realize we were doing that. Well, the light green team will meet. So both of these countries originated from the dark green team, but they still don't really like each other. The light green team will go in and take several important cities off the hands of the blue team, the Russian country, and will begin going around the Ukrainian border. Ukraine is condemns Russia, and they're like, "You killed their media person." Russia's like, "But I didn't actually. Those were trying to just frame me." But Ukraine doesn't believe this, and so Russia will invade them. We'll turn off the provinces for now. But anyway, Russia enters into Ukraine and takes this city, as well as that other major city. And I'm going to say that this city down here is their capital. I haven't marked that yet, though. And it is seized pretty early on by Russian forces who are like still insisting that they did not provoke this war. It was just someone trying to get a war to break out between them. And turns out they were right. And what country was it other than the dark green country? So the light green capital is right here in the province circle that is on the province map mode. I'll show it to you. It is right here, as you can see. But green team forces, as the dark green team, they were the ones who assassinated the light green's leader, They were the ones because they wanted to cause instability in the light green team so they could enter in to try to redeem themselves, which they are doing. They take a major city pretty quickly and then take the capital before the light greens can withdraw their forces. They keep fighting. However, the Russians refuse to stop their war, saying that it was provoked by them and they won't stop until the other country is destroyed. And so their forces march down, retaking major cities that belong to them. However, the light green people are also recalling their troops, allowing for the Russians to very quickly take back their land, and Ukraine is basically left by themselves on this front, and they're not doing well anyway, and now they're really not doing well. Russian troops? What is? I'm confused. Just a second. Russian troops? What? Why do I have this card here? Well, Russian troops will begin completely destroying Ukraine. They will go down to the coast here and take everything. Yup, everything. It's just gone now. They own it. They go down and take all of Crimea and begin until Ukraine capitulates, hoping that they won't get fully destroyed by the Russians in the peace treaty. And they knew the Russians would win anyway, so what was the point in fighting a war that you were most certainly going to lose? Now back over to the um light green country. Russian troops will begin pouring in from all occupied regions, capturing several major cities in the populated area of lime green team, the light, not lime, light green team. They will take several major cities, and the dark greens will finish off them taking their final major city down here. And that is the end of the lime green team. And I'll do the peace treaty real quick and then I'll pause it. And now we see the peace treaty. So we see Russia get all this land. But you might notice that they didn't take a lot of Ukraine's land. You also might notice Ukraine is a different color. That's because Russia only took a little bit of their land down here on the Black Sea coast, but they puppeted the Ukrainian government, so that's if they're a puppet state now. This country still exists. However, if we look at this, their capital is really close to dark green's border, so they're also much smaller than normal, and dark green took all of this land. So that is the peace treaty in America. So yeah. Now, there are some alliances you might notice here. They happen to be a square and a circle. And you might notice that square and be like, and you might notice that circle and be like, But that circle you can't at anymore. Because it don't exist anymore. That is right. The Ribbidibbi. The circles don't exist anymore. Now, I don't know what is happening. I don't know why they're turning these colors. So I'm going to have to just erase them. But, like I said, there aren't any circles anymore. And this leads to mean there are no need for squares anymore either, as they were meant to be opposing each other. Even the check mark economic alliance will dissolve, and these two will get their own currencies. They don't use the same currency anymore. So yeah, that is done. And over here in America, some pretty interesting things happening. Eh, 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 interesting things. Yeah, I heard an interesting thing. So these are the provinces of America, but those are not what we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at some green team movement in the Americas. First, they'll be expanding their American colony north across the sea to the north, across the sea. Just kidding, north is not across the sea. Over here in Lisbon, Salarica, the green team will move north and begin cutting off the French from land gains purposefully. French people, they mad about this. They don't like it. But they still take land. But that is how those borders will be. Or will it? Meetings occur in a certain city known for its existence in France. Now this will be to divide America, and the Italians are like, you just want to take my land. And they're like, and then the French are like, no, if you own land, it won't be taken. Italians are like, I guess that is fine. And so borders are drawn about who gets to own what in the known parts of America. So that is those borders are what I'm drawing now. Greece and Italy will push right next to each other with a straight line border, which, and I forgot to mention this at the start, but it's probably like the early 1500s by now. Middle Ages have been going on for a couple centuries, actually more than a couple centuries, but you get it. No, yeah, Fred. But yeah, they've been going on for a few centuries. So guns do exist. They're not modern guns. They're like muskets, but they do exist. Now the Italians are like, hey, why are you drawing my border so close up? And the French are like, because you also have the ability to claim land in Central and South America because your presence is there. And other people need land in North America. So, yeah. The Italians don't really like this, but they can't really do anything about this because all the countries agreed that they would agree with what is in the conference. So the Greeks are like that, and everyone's like, I have a great idea. I don't know why I said it like that, but they're like, ooh, I have a great idea. Yeah, stuff like that. Why don't we just give everything to Sweden? And so that's basically what they're doing. Now, you might be like, but you're not even doing stuff with Sweden's territory right now. Joe, you're just editing stuff. Yeah. Editing the French border, actually. But that is because I need to draw all the borders of the countries they will soon border before they can, own land and stuff. You get it, don't you, Fred? I know you're there, Fred. Oh, Fred. Freddy Winkle. And we're just drawing up some borders here. Now, they won't deal with the Canadians. Just kidding. They will deal with Canadian land. Less, you might notice there are less straight borders up here. That's because France doesn't want any straight borders. Just kidding. France is actually the one who drew the straight border between Greece and Italy. And if you look at their province, well, their colonies here, you will notice quite a few straight lines. This line was the four borders. You can see these land exchanges have occurred. So, yeah. And now we will go to the aforementioned Swedes. I don't actually know what aforementioned means, but the Swedes will be given all of this land, and all of this land belongs to you. Just kidding, it doesn't, unless you're the ruler of Wixoseries, Sweden. Which, if you are, please comment down below. Mm-hmm. That's. But they will not tolerate this. No, Winkles. They won't tolerate this. Oh no, Winkles. They won't tolerate it. I don't know what I'm saying. Winkles. The aforementioned Winkles. Winkles. Give me all my puppies. Winkles. Where'd you put my Winkle puppies? Winkles. Puppy Winkles. Know who Puppy Winkle is? Comment down below. So, yeah. If you are a person, don't comment it because I know that. Wait, are you a robot? Oh, you've betrayed me. What happens when you do bleh? Aha, a hole appears in North America and swallows everything. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. What are you talking about? I didn't say that. You said that. Very clear. Everybody could hear that it was you who said it, not me. I would never say such a thing. Oh, she would say such a thing. I don't know what I'm saying. Boom. And we'll just fix this straight Swede border. Border. Border, border. I'll just give them this weird chunk of Sweden. Yeah. I'll just give them that as well. And all of that. Just kidding. No, no, no. Now you might be wondering why are they giving Sweden all this territory again? As they want to please the Swedes. They saw what they did to Norway, who was a relatively strong country, and they don't want it to happen to them. So they're giving Sweden more power? It makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. It does. And they'll just do that. And giving Sweden hundreds upon hundreds of billions of dirt, which Sweden already had, but they need more of. They want to be the most powerful country on earth. Which I will not say. So I do not actually know. Actually, Sweden's probably like second strongest. Behind, I would say, right now, Russia. Russia's just the teensiest bit stronger than Sweden. And third, I'd say, is China. Mentioned that none of those are in the Middle East. That would have been true that they would all be in the Middle East for quite some time. But now the world's moving away from the Middle East. As you could tell from last episode, where, like I said at the end, I hadn't even done anything with the Middle East. Which is not normal for a highly esteemed Wixo episode. I'll just do that. And give it all to Italy. And everything else, the entire American continent, you thought it was cool, didn't you? But what if I just go, it's raining now. What if I just give it all to Greece? Eh? 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 And does anyone want this? Nobody? Nobody. Okay. Okay. You're very anti-Greece, I guess. But Greece will be Greekified? I'm given everything. From San Francisco Bay. I don't know why I said it like that. From San Francisco Bay up to the Swedish tip. And Sweden's like, well, not just Sweden, but everybody really. It's just like, even Greece is just like, they're all just like, they don't know what just happened. They're just like silence. Silent. Nobody knows. Particle Man. Nobody knows why Greece got this. Only Particle Man. But that will do it for the conference in France. And France is kind of like, why do we do this? Now we can't expand at all. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that, France. But now we get to take a look at an area that is not aforementioned. Don't know what's happening in Greece. Let's just ignore Greece for now. Greece can just being like, we can just ignore Greece for now after giving Greece half of North America. Normal human behavior. As I was saying, normal human behavior. What is this? It's the former dark green border, but like, what? Why are you aforementioned? Sorry, I keep saying that. I don't know. That word is just stuck in my head. I'm not even sure if it's a word. But so 1500s is now about 1550. Yo. 1550. 1550. 1550. Fif- 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 1550. 1550. Well, the Japanese rise and exist. Wow. 1550. 1550. 1550? 1550. 1550? 1551. Well, let's just give them Song Colin, because why not? It's 1551, people. So, yeah. But now a war will be happening. There's only been one this episode, so, well. But anyway, this war was long coming. Long time ago. It was Christmas Eve, 2024. That was a long time ago. France. You know them? They like living, stuff like that. Well, their forces declare war on a different force. In the year 1553, French forces entered into Sweden in the New York area and took the New York area and did what armies do in territories of their enemies. And went to Pierre and took the Quebec River and did what armies do in the cities of their enemies. And yes. So, yeah, many of the civilians of French colonies are for this war as they want to expand westward. I'm seeing some equivalents to countries in the 1700s here that are like, wasn't this like a certain war that happened that lasted 7 years between France and Britain in normal timelines? Sweden reminds me of France here a lot. And France reminds me of Britain for some reason. I don't know why. They just do. You know? But they do. So, well, they'll go up. The French will go up and seize Toronto. Bam, bam, bam. Toronto doesn't exist in this timeline. But anyway, they'll just come up here and do that. And then they'll take the Great Lakes region, which the Swedes were trying to do not too long ago. They'll take Michigan, and they'll go and do the thing that is called taking over Wisconsin. And then they'll do that and do a little more of that. And kind of do that and that and that and that until they take over all of Minnesota. And then there's a little Swedish person who's like, ah. And then they're like, we want peace. And then France is like, and then they take all their territory. The end. Wouldn't that be a great kids' book? Bam, bam, bam. And then look, wow, said France. I'm bigger than I was in 1894. And then everyone's like, 1894 hasn't even happened yet. French are like, I know. And I'm bigger than I was then. And then everyone's like, wait, so you are saying you'll be in decline in 1884? They're like, I should have thought of that. But no, that's not what I'm saying. And so, yeah, the Swedes will get back this. As you can see, I'm doing a peace treaty of high importance. Well, anyway, and then they're like, go right ahead. But then the government of France is like, actually, never mind. Never mind what? Say the French people in the colonies. You can't move there because we are doing secret government things there. And then everyone's like, it's really angry about that. So, yeah. And it's 1564. And some things are happening here in 1564. But in the year 1575, in Dronka, Dronka Chusava, some French people declare declare independence and fight in 1576 a convention is held in Fabula, and they declare the United States of Lisbon Sailorica, and the rebel group takes more ground in Lisbon Sailorica. The United States of Lisbon Sailorica arises. Bam, 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 bam. They take over the entire Massachusetts area and New York, and they're led by brave Timothy Cleanington. Their armies take over everything. Timothy Cleanington was an officer during the um Swedish War, and now he is leading a revolution in America for the United States of Lisbon Sailorica. Their forces take the British by surprise. Sorry, British? Did I say British? I meant French. They take the French by surprise and overthrow the French government. By 1783, the French government surrenders. Not 1783, 1583. The French government surrenders, and the United States of Lisbon Sailorica is created. But over in Europe, in 1598, 1594, a new French government will rebel from the old French government, and they'll take control over France. Soon they will overthrow France in 1792, and it will be taken place. 1715. And in the year 1600, I hereby declare that we shall be ending the series. Goodbye, everybody. Sorry. Yeah, got you. We're not actually ending the series. We're ending everything. Yep. Goodbye. Just kidding again. We're not ending everything. We're ending almost everything. Oh, I hate this thunder. Sorry if you can hear thunder. It just happens sometimes. Sometimes. Not most of the time, though. Oh. But anyway, we're not actually ending the series, but in the year 1600, we will end this glorified episode. So I hope you enjoyed, yeah, and stuff, and yeah, and stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye.